everyone is just sitting around, cannot believe this is the strategy.
You know, the AFG union, which is the largest union representing federal workers, they want a big victory today in federal court about those probationary employees who were fired. They came out against the CR, which really surprised me, right? These are the people that seem to have the most skin in the game on precisely the terms you're enunciating. And they said, the fact that this CR has no protections that will actually be followed means that we can't support it. If the people whose livelihoods are on the line say you cannot go along with this thing, why are they wrong?
I understand why they're so upset with the CR, but I disagree with them because the shutdown would be worse for their employees. They could just eliminate huge portions of government workers automatically. They could eliminate programs automatically, which they can't do on the CR. The CR has certain spending, and they can screw around with it, and they will. These guys...
Pause it. Wait a second. Pause it right there. The reason why there's these court cases, the reason why there have been tens of thousands of federal workers fired is exactly under the exact same legal structure that exists now. So he tries to glide through that, to just glide right through that. Well, they can do it either way. They could play with the spending. Yes, that's what they're doing. What has been going on since January 21st is a rolling government shutdown, and one that is unconstitutional, illegal, separate things, and they have no leverage to stop this. You can wait for the court cases, but in terms of like the politics and the statutes, they have no way to stop this.
Except for if Senate Democrats do their job. And the House Democrats, all except one, voted with and put themselves on the line, even in Trump districts, as AOC has said, and Schumer's throwing them all under the bus.
Has certain spending, and they can screw around with it, and they will. These guys are sons of guns. They're going to do everything they can to hurt the government. You know what they've talked about. Elon Musk, this billionaire who cares nothing about taking people's Social Security away, this guy says that he wants to cut $2 trillion out of the federal government. A shutdown would allow him to do it. And here's another point, Chris. There's no exit ramp. Anyone who wants the shutdown, I've asked them, well, how do we get out of it? Guess who it's up to get out of it? Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Doge. So it's a horrible...
Pause it for a second.
Exactly.
So there it is. Schumer just says that everyone he's talked to knows that if the government shuts down, that the one person or three people or three entities who can turn the government back on won't do it. So in other words, he's conceding right there that he understands that politically speaking, they will take the blame for it. And this is where we're at right now. This is the government is under assault. There is absolutely no reason to believe, and the Republicans have said this, they know they have 2 years. There is no reason to believe there is any way to stop this. This is it. This is like the one time where I agree with an accelerationist thing, because the fact is we are on a locked in path right now. And it's going to exist over the 2 years. Yeah. And so we either have it happen now in a way in which it is where the Republicans will have to put the brakes on.
But it's not accelerationism. It's like the motivation behind a strike. Like if you get a contract where the terms are dog crap, at some point you do have to strike. And that's what this government shutdown would be.
Good. Elon Musk, Doge. So it's it's two bad alternatives. And I respect people who actually don't want it, vote for the CR. It's awful. But with the alternative being a government shutdown, that's even worse.
Wall Street's
upset. So here's the other sort of way that I've heard people phrase this, right? Democrats don't control any part of the government. So there's not a ton of leverage. The one thing they have leverage is in the Senate, where you need a filibuster-proof majority on a cloture vote. that there's essentially an unconstitutional assault on the government right now. And I think you would agree with that,
There
right?
is.
Assault on the constitutional.
These guys are the worst, and we got to fight them every step of the way. As we say in Brooklyn, Chris, every step of the way.
But look, Russ Vought is already telling people, but he's telling people on the floor, we are not even going to listen to this CR. This is a piece of paper that we will impound and rip up the moment it's passed. If that's the case, how is voting for cloture not essentially an imprimatur on the very same assault on the constitutional order?
They're already, even without this CR, they're already doing it.
Right.
Okay? They did it to the Department of Education. But I can tell you, I've been through shutdowns before. It's not that this CR is good. It's not that voting for it is good. It's horrible. But the alternative is worse. And we have to look just a month ahead and see how bad a shutdown would be for all the things we believe in, and how I'd say Trump and Doge and Musk and Vogt, they're like drooling with happiness and desire to get a government shutdown. They've
Pause
said they
it.
want
I'm
it.
so sorry. That is he said that to start the interview, and he just said it a second time. That is an abject lie. Donald Trump was whipping votes for the continuing resolution in the House. He threatened a primary challenge against Thomas Massie if he didn't go along with it. Chuck Schumer is basically saying that the Republican bill, Donald Trump doesn't want it to pass. This morning, Trump truthed out a social and socialed out a truth, thanking Chuck Schumer for his support for the continuing resolution. He really has a funny way of showing it, that, by threatening House Republicans that don't vote for it, and by praising Schumer for supporting it. Apparently, House Republicans don't want it to pass. Well, he also says in it, right, that Republicans will do whatever Trump wants, but also they're passing the continuing resolution.
Yeah, they have the power to tank it if they want to shut down.
So Thune and Johnson, even though apparently they always do whatever Trump wants, they're also passing this continuing resolution against his wishes.
CNN reported yesterday, it was a full court press from the White House.
Yep.
VP J.D. Vance came to the Capitol on the morning of the vote where he warned House Republicans the GOP would be blamed if the government shuts down. Person in the room told CNN, Vance told members that the party will lose momentum on Trump's agenda if the stopgap spending bill fails, specifically pointing to border security and political momentum. It's weird when a political party talks about politics. That's just me editorializing. He also vowed the White House would claw back spending in other forms, including through a wonky process known as recessions, a move conservatives cheered, another person said. I mean, it's hard to know if Schumer's just this out of touch or lying. It really is. Because who does he think he's lying to? It's not like normies are involved in the sort of like the minutia of this stuff. They're not going to hear his lying explanations, and no one he's talking to.
They just want to see
not Chris
him fight.
Hayes in this instance.
Yeah.
Not the reporters. No one believes what he's saying. Go ahead.
Drooling with happiness and desire to get a government shutdown. They've said they want it. Why? Not for doing anything good. I'll tell you that. These guys are authoritarians.
Let me just say with this in 1 second. I think the theory of the case for people that don't want Democrats to vote for cloture is that Americans don't quite understand what's being done to their government. It's being done in this sort of haphazard fashion. The stories are sort of getting out. There's this Forest Service worker who got laid off for no reason, and there's this veteran who's got a traumatic brain injury, who's got a clinical trial. But the shutdown would be a way of actually calling the question. And here's what I would just offer. It seems to me that the demand that makes the most sense here, and I'm not a U.S. Senator, is for the Republicans to vote on a rescission package that enunciates the cuts Doge has done, as opposed to allowing an unelected co-president unilaterally eviscerate the American constitutional power of the purse.
Exactly.
Well, the bottom line is the Republican Senate is in total obeisance to Trump. They're not going to oppose him in any
Guess
way.
who else is in total obeisance to Trump?
You there.
Like, honestly, everything he's saying is...
But they're passing the CR against his wishes, apparently. They're both in total obeisance to Trump, but they also want a government shutdown.
Just let him... oh, God, this is so stupid.
Good job,
This is so
Chris
stupid.
Hayes.
Go ahead.
Senate is in total obeisance to Trump. They're not going to oppose him in any way. But if they allow Trump to make the kind of drastic cuts that I greatly fear in a government shutdown, they'll be culpable as well. And make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. Why? Ask yourself again the question. Why does Musk and Trump and Vote want this? Vote already has plans on how to slash the government, far worse than slashed in the CR. Much worse. Every program, every part of government would be at their disposal, their wicked disposal. So that's the problem here. It's not that the CR is good, it's horrible. Well, and all things being equal, we should have opposed it. But the alternative being a shutdown makes things worse, and I believe this much worse.
What scenario is all things being equal? Like, you are basically saying there is absolutely no circumstance, because I don't know where there could be a more relevant circumstance. You certainly will not find the trans ideological coalition, if you will, ad hoc coalition of people who want to vote against the CR in agreement. I can't imagine another circumstance where, aside from Chuck Schumer, you got like Iglesias, and that's about it.
No, Neera Tanden's against this. Like all the resistance liberals, you know what they actually want you to resist? They're aligned with the left here.
There's no other circumstance where one would ever vote against a continuing resolution if it wouldn't be this one.
Exactly.
So everything he's saying, like all things being equal, what are you talking about? This is absurd.
But he betrays it by saying, I've been through a government shutdown before. It's because he's acting like it's business as usual, and it's not. And that's when we talk about how he's incapable of meeting this moment. That's what this is.
Should we play any more of this? Or it's just absurd. Call. I know voicemails are shut down. Call local offices. Call the statewide offices. They'll have one in the capital of your state. They'll have one in D.C., but they'll also have a couple of local offices around too. So try that. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.